China is quietly building one of the world's most powerful navies, while much of the West remains unaware. Many of its newest warships emerge from the Jiangnan shipyard near Shanghai, a place where ambitious projects take shape quickly. Observers note how these vessels roll off production lines at a pace that challenges Western assumptions about maritime power. American strategists acknowledge the importance of tonnage and combat experience, yet they see a rapid narrowing of technological gaps. China intends to have over 400 warships by 2030, on a trajectory toward global influence by 2050. Government white papers outline a modernization goal set for 2035, followed by aspirations of outright naval dominance. Between 2015 and 2019, Type 052D and Type 055 destroyers gave the Chinese fleet a notable edge in radar and missile firepower. A brief slowdown during the pandemic still saw construction continue for key assets like submarines and amphibious carriers. By late 2022, production accelerated again, showcasing multiple destroyers under construction at both Dalian and Jiangnan shipyards. These yards leverage commercial know-how, launching multiple hulls simultaneously in ways foreign shipbuilders struggle to match. China's submarine program also advanced, with at least 8 Type 093B nuclear-powered boats launched since mid-2022. Such submarines integrate advanced vertical launch systems and pump jet propulsion, edging closer to Western stealth standards. Meanwhile, the U.S. Navy aims for 2 attack submarines per year by 2028, a comparatively modest production target. The Type 03 aircraft carrier Fujian exemplifies China's ambitions, using electromagnetic catapults akin to cutting-edge American carriers. Within a year of its launch, Fujian completed several sea trials testing propulsion, communications, and even handling of mock-up jets. Evidence suggests the J-35, China's 5th-generation carrier-based fighter, has already conducted exercises on the Liaoning carrier. The J-35's stealth profile highlights how quickly Chinese naval aviation is adopting advanced technology for maritime operations. Upgraded J-15 variants have also appeared, including the J-15T and the electronic warfare-capable J-15D, signaling rapid innovation. Beyond conventional carriers, China is building the Type 076 amphibious assault ship, which features drone-launching catapults. This multi-role platform functions like a drone carrier, increasing the Navy's surveillance and strike capacity in contested waters. In 2023 alone, China produced over 40 million tons of commercial shipping, about 2/3 of the global market share. Thanks to laws like the 2016 National Defense Transportation Act, many civilian vessels are constructed to military-grade standards. Large ferries, for instance, have already moved armored vehicles during military drills, indicating a high level of dual-use potential. Such civil-military integration raises concerns that containerized missile systems could be concealed on ordinary commercial ships. Experts warn these disguised weapons might slip near critical U.S. bases, presenting an asymmetric threat if tensions ever escalate. In stark contrast, the United States has seen a long-term decline in commercial shipbuilding, dropping to a mere fraction of global output. Many American shipyards closed or pivoted to different sectors, unable to sustain investment without steady naval contracts. As a result, the U.S. Navy's fleet remains around 300 ships, a number largely unchanged for decades. Even the newly proposed 30-year shipbuilding plan aims for a modest increase to 381 vessels by mid-century. Over that time span, significant decommissionings may shrink the fleet before it finally grows again, limiting near-term readiness. Most additions are smaller surface combatants, not major carriers or large nuclear submarines that define strategic power. This underscores a widening capacity gap between China's streamlined production and America's slower, more expensive approach. However, the United States retains formidable operational experience, especially with nuclear submarines and carrier strike groups. China's rapid learning in these domains still trails the U.S., yet the speed of its catch-up surprises many analysts. Some recall how improbable it once seemed that China could build several nuclear-powered submarines in 1 year. The trend now indicates they can sustain that pace, incrementally improving each hull to reduce acoustic signatures and increase firepower. In the realm of carrier aviation, American expertise stretches back over a century, giving it an unparalleled heritage in flight deck operations. China, though inexperienced, demonstrates a capacity to integrate technology faster, as seen with electromagnetic catapults on Fujian. Reports from the South China Sea describe increasingly complex Chinese exercises, often involving multiple branches of the armed forces. Destroyers, frigates, and bombers rehearse joint operations, reflecting a fast-maturing doctrine guided by extensive practice. This approach capitalizes on China's commercial shipbuilding base, which churns out countless hulls and hones the workforce's skills. Military projects draw upon these same labor pools, accelerating warship production through shared infrastructure and expertise. Western shipbuilders do not enjoy that level of integrated large-scale capacity, hampering their ability to surge production. Critics of American policy say too much time was lost when the Cold War ended, allowing industrial capabilities to wither. Rebuilding dormant shipyards demands funding, skilled labor, and stable contracts, all of which face political hurdles in Washington. Legislation to spur domestic shipbuilding often arrives too late or fails to address deep-rooted structural problems. Meanwhile, China's pace continues, unveiling new submarines, carriers, and destroyers that erode traditional Western technological leads. The big question is whether the United States can respond by revitalizing its own industrial base and forging durable alliances. Some propose smaller but more numerous vessels, distributed lethality, and an emphasis on drones to mitigate China's numerical advantage. Others advocate doubling down on big-ticket platforms like carriers, hoping to maintain quality over quantity. Regardless of the strategy, there is little doubt that China's Navy is growing faster than many Western analysts ever projected. America's undersea edge still stands as a critical deterrent, yet maintaining it requires constant modernization and expansion. China's submarine program is already extensive, making serious investments to close acoustic and propulsion gaps with Western subs. If a crisis arises over Taiwan or strategic islands, a larger Chinese fleet could challenge the U.S. Navy's capacity to respond decisively. Amid these tensions, both nations keep refining their capabilities, each test launch or sea trial sending strong geopolitical signals. Commercial shipping routes, such as those passing through the South China Sea, become potential flashpoints in any escalation. China's ability to convert merchant vessels or hide missile systems at sea introduces new layers of complexity for defense planners. The Belt and Road Initiative expands China's maritime footprint, offering a network of ports that can support naval deployments. Simultaneously, the U.S. works to deepen ties with regional partners like Japan, Australia, and India to balance China's growing presence. Diplomatic overtures and multinational exercises highlight the shifting landscape of power in Indo-Pacific waters. Still, the fundamental dynamic remains one of industrial might, with China's shipyards setting a relentless production tempo. Each completed carrier, submarine, or destroyer signals a step toward Beijing's broader vision of maritime influence. American fleets remain potent, yet questions linger about how quickly they can ramp up if confronted by a near-peer competitor. Already, annual maintenance and modernization schedules tie up vital U.S. hulls, complicating any surge in a sudden conflict. In a world where sea routes carry the bulk of trade, the Navy that can secure them wields immense leverage. China's focus on modernizing every facet of its maritime force suggests an unyielding drive to reshape that balance. The United States must decide whether to invest in bolstering its own shipyards, or risk seeing its historical naval advantage erode. Alliances may help offset China's numerical lead, but no alliance can substitute for raw shipbuilding capacity. China's rise is more than a buildup of hulls. It's a strategic redefinition of maritime power that cannot be ignored.